There was one scene where you saw it. A horse got blown up, and they showed him in slow motion. Even the horse was like, "Fuck!" And I'd be damned if not 2 seconds later, I'm all right.
I laughed at that shit. Like, you gotta be kidding me.
That horse got right up. Back in the game. Now, a lot of people, they're looking at us at this moment, and they're saying, I love a good war film. You know, the thing I've been asking for years, though, the thing that is missing, I've always said, more horses. You know,
they didn't see War Horse?
They did not know. That's just one.
Okay.
It's just a horse walking around, hanging around with silly ass people. No, I won't. Okay. No. I don't want no fucking emotional ass drama. I want some badass horses.
All right.
Riding into the battle, doing some G.I. Joe shit, running the fucking Taliban on head on.
Okay.
You know, I want horses with grenade launchers on the side.
Rough Riders.
There you go. Well, you know, you're not getting that here. But one step at a time. Now, you're probably saying, well, where do these horses come in? Oh, and I got a bonus for you right there. You know, you combine a horse with the likes of Chris Hemsworth. Oh, my God. We got a movie now, Corey. And the thing is with this is that a lot of people looking at this and like, oh, here we go with this over-patriotic stuff. You know, because this is happening not even a month after 9/11. And here you have Chris Hemsworth as Captain Mitch Nelson. He's a badass that ain't never been to combat before. Ready for anything. Shit, can't kill me. I'm Mitch Nelson.
Yeah, but he's hell on the simulators.
But he's hell, yeah. That's what they said. Man, he can take a test like nobody.
I showed those NPCs.
Yeah. And so they're kind of skeptical about sending him into battle. But he's going to his superiors. He's like, look, somebody got to do something. Believe me, A's on all my papers. You have to send me into this right now.
I'm ready for war.
I'm ready for it. Look at how I scored that video game, man.
Right.
Yeah. Call of Duty, man. Look at that.
Check out my stats.
Yeah, put me in, bro. And they said, all right. And he's figuring like, all right, really, what should be that hard about it? With today's technology, all you do is you point at a bunch of brown dudes with towels on their heads and some beards, and you say, there they are. Here's the coordinates. Drop the bombs. Blow those sons of bitches up. And they're like, well, yeah, Mitch, that's not how it really works here. You see, this is Afghanistan, bitch. And over there, you just don't call the shots for them to drop the bombs. What you have to do is you got to get close. And you are in Afghanistan where you just ain't going to roll up on somebody because of the terrain. You're not even going to walk up on somebody because you're going to have to turn your ass right back around and run. Mm-hmm. The only way to get up in there is some horses. And here's the thing. I'm going to give you 11 more dudes. Not a whole infantry in it, but 11 more dudes. Oh, and on top of that, the warlord that y'all are going to meet, well, I don't know how y'all going to divide this up, but he's only got about 6 horses. All right, y'all can handle this, right?
Good luck.
Good luck.
Who's riding bitch?
Yeah. They doing it the wrong way. They got horses riding there. Is it like this? And he says, hey, even that doesn't scare him. They said, man, we're going to be generous and give you 6 weeks. He's like, give me 3. Get this shit done. Give me 3 hours. All right, bro. Go on in there. It's your thing. Let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer here for 12 Strong. We'll come back and tell you if they really are that strong and more.
This is from the towers. You carry that with you.
You know something?
Horse got up like Dracula.
I know. Yeah, he sure did.
Come on, we have a job to do.
Let's get the Taliban. Freedom. For vampire horses everywhere. When you look at the trailer, this is based on a true story. And the true story centers around 9/11. I mean, the trailer, you saw the towers dropping, the guys looking at it all angry and everything. And I'm going to say that turned me off immediately. Because you're showing this tragic imagery, and I'm just looking at it like this is for a cheap form of emotional manipulation for what really, this is Jerry Bruckheimer, man.
Yeah.
This is going to be a cheap form of emotional manipulation and also patriotism for what essentially is going to be just an action movie. You know, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, you know, I get tired of these movies where people come in and they use 9/11, which is it's still a sore on this nation.
The beginning of this felt like the end of Remember Me.
I was
When you're sitting there, you're like, oh no, the towers. Oh Jesus, you're just trying to get me emotionally invested in this because of what happened. Yes, it was a tragedy, but don't like use it this way.
Like I said, it's an action film. Maybe if there was more to it, I would feel a little bit better about that. And when the movie was in the first, I guess, third act, maybe, everything that I was thinking about it was being confirmed about this just being an action film. For one, everybody is tough.
Yeah.
Everybody talks tough, man. You know, everybody's so tough that they mad. Like, you know, some people you even look at, man, you need to dial this back a little bit, all right? Because you're going to have a heart attack.
I was saying, like, all these dudes are in the closet. The way they're like affronting.
How small is everybody's dick in this movie? Everybody's overcompensating.
Well, it just seems like any movie, every one of these movies has a bunch of macho banter back and forth that really tells you nothing about their character other than that, okay, y'all are just a bunch of meatheads.
Yeah, everybody's like, you know, and nobody's crying. Nobody's like looking at it like, oh, what a tragedy. Everybody's like, let's kick some ass.
Yeah.
Where that motherfucker at, man? We're going to get him, bro. And,
Put me in there.
Yeah, put me in.
I'll solve it in one day.
They talking about put me in the game, sir. And they're like, this ain't no fucking game, man.
People are dying, man.
There's people dying on TV right now. You talking about put me in the game like we playing PS4 or something. And some of them, like I said, some of them just so tough that they mad. Rob Riggle in the movie, man.
Mad for no reason.
Rob Riggle in the movie, he plays the superior of Chris Hemsworth here, and you can't even go up to this man and say hi without him going off on your ass.
Why are you here? Out of uniform with that fur on your face? Didn't you get back from Kuwait like 3 weeks ago? Get back to your desk and let me do my job.
He's like, let me walk away before I beat this motherfucker.
I'll be back with my hammer.
Yeah. You're like, man, I'm about to go to jail right now.
That's not how they talk to you in the guard?
Not being basic, but, you know, when you would, like, try to do your job, be like, what do you want?
With all due respect, sir, your name is Colonel Riggle.
Yeah, Wriggles, man. I will say this. Rob Riggle, he's not in the movie a whole lot, but he is convincing because there, you know, a lot of
he was a
people
Marine.
Was he?
Yeah, he was 23 years in the Marine Reserve. When I say reserve, he did some time overseas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was a lieutenant colonel in the Marines. He was also a colonel in the KFC Army. A lot of people don't know that he was Colonel Sanders at one time, too. So a lot of military experience behind this man.
And also, the guy he's playing was the leader of his squad. So he's like, yeah, I know this guy personally. Let me do it right.
Nice. No, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice,
cool.
man. Nice. You know something? It turns into a different movie when they get to Afghanistan. And I'm going to say at that point, I started to turn because it's, you got people on horseback riding on the plains. I don't care if they're sitting in Afghanistan or if you're in Arizona. You know, with this, it was, I love the way it was a blend of different genres because, for one, it is a war movie. I mean, it's 12 of them. It's literally almost the dirty dozen. But, you know, because they're sending these guys in on an impossible mission. They're telling them, look, the reason why we're sending you, because, well, you're talking a bunch of dumb shit. You're going to die anyway. Send me in, sir. Yeah, okay.
We'll give you 6 weeks. Only need 3.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he should have. They tried to tell him, we're giving you 6 weeks, and that's the curry. Like, give me 3, sir. And I'm like, all right, hey, sure. Soon we kill this bitch, we better off. You know what? The Dirty Dozen is a part of this. And also, it's mixed with Westerns. You put these people on horses in the plains, it's also a mixture of things like The Wild Bunch, where they're just under heavy siege. Like it's almost like that final scene in The Wild Bunch.
Sure.
Or under heavy fire. In The Magnificent Seven. I mean, there are parts where they're a group of guys, a small number of guys who probably need more men for an impossible mission, but they still do it. And they also go in, they're fighting for the common people. They're saving a few villages out there. It was, you know, I was beginning to enjoy, despite what they set up, that this was turning into somewhat of an adventure film. And I will even say normally it's a bad thing when you say this, but it even has a little bit of Call of Duty in there. And in some of the best ways for me. But that's me, you know, because I'm an admirer of when people can blend different genres together and make them all work in some form or another.
I won't deny anything you're saying because all that is there. I think the problem with it is that still at the end of the day, it's pretty paper thin. I mean, as much as you compare it to the Magnificent Seven and the Dirty Dozen, we don't really get a real feel for each of these guys. I mean, you got your actors that you know, and the other guys they could have switched out actors along the way, and I wouldn't have known the difference. And really, as much as this is about the horse soldiers, I feel like that really kind of got played down after a while, to where I didn't even know the horses were that important until it got to the end when they made a point of it. This has so many elements that could make this one of those great war movies that you want to come revisit. For the most part, it feels like the kind of some movie that would have Valor in the title and come out in January, where it's like, man, y'all got this set up, but you don't have a lot going on here. It's the cast that makes this. If anything keeps this from just dulling out and being bad, it's the cast. Because the guys you know, Chris Hemsworth, once again, the guy's got charisma. He's able to really, feel like the leader of this squad and keep it going. And Michael Pena is used sparingly. Is fine.
I don't believe you.
I know, Gertz. I know.
I know you mad.
They just drop him in here and there. It's nothing great.
Yeah, no. He does what he needs to do.
He does.
I would like to disagree, man. Every time he popped up, it was just a terrible one-liner. Like, I gotta go do this, so my wife would be nice to me. Or I'm like,
every movie,
man.
Yeah, and well. Yes, you're right. What actually came out of his mouth, I was never crazy about. But I was like, at least I know who this guy is when he's on screen.
Yeah.
Right.
As opposed to some of the other ones who are like, all right, who are you again?
Yeah, I don't think
it's all white blonde guys except the black guy and the Mexican dude.
And the Mexican dude.
So they all just kind of blend into each other.
And I'm gonna tell you something.
And crazy-eyed Michael Shannon.
Yeah.
Who's dialed back?
Well, no, that's the thing. Like, we were talking about, like, these characters kind of elevating it above what it was. And to go to your point, we were talking about everybody was just talking rough and having these stereotypical soldier things. I feel like that was one of the big things that was kind of holding this back, was because you have these stereotypical things that we see in almost every movie. Like Michael Shannan, I'm getting ready to retire, or Chris Hemsworth, I'm the badass who left the job, but now I'm back to fight for my country. It's like, all right, you're giving us these same tired plot lines, but I don't really feel like anything else, you're adding anything to it like I've seen other directors do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, for me, I didn't go in knowing what this was about at all, and I was kind of ready to write it off as, like you said, some valor of duty or whatever it is, Valor. I didn't know anything about this at all. I didn't even know the angle of the horses. So when I was done with it, I still didn't know that was a big thing until they just said it. Yeah, at the end of the credit.
At the end of it, they go like, "Hey, by the way, the horses were supposed to be the star of this movie."
I appreciated that they didn't play that up too much, as the horse fighting movie, the horse soldier movie. I was all right with that. But there is something thrilling for me to see this twist on action scenes where people are riding into combat with horses. It's thrilling to see this because it looks stupid. I mean, when I say that.
He's not lying, man. That shit look goofy as hell.
Lord of the Rings versus tanks.
It's Lord of the Rings with machine guns.
It's like suicide by horse. You mean you gonna run up on a tank on Mr. Ed?
It does feel like when you're running up and you got your squad and they're on foot and you're on horses and you get over the cliff and you see the other side has tanks and missiles and RPGs. Like you go like, "Skit!"
Yeah.
Okay, retreat. Back.
I'm surprised one horse didn't say, "Man, fuck this. Let's get the hell out of this shit." Now one of y'all gonna say nay. All right.
The Taliban soldiers that they are fighting graduated from the same marksman school as Cobra and the stormtroopers. And somehow they had special bullets that went shoot. Oh, American. Sorry, I'll kill this guy instead.
Brown person.
Because the American soldiers, man, bullets are flying at them everywhere. They're hidden, but they'll just stand right up there, plow, and you hear thousands of rounds going on. never get hit.
And they were hitting like RoboCop, like the American soldiers, pop, pop, headshot, headshot.
Yeah,
Like,
every shot of theirs, target, target, target.
Well, they had better training.
Yeah, to be fair, Call of Duty does have a lot of lag sometimes. Something to consider.
And I'll give it to you, whenever the Americans do get hit, they get hit where you think they're going to get hit. Oh, my leg.
Oh, my shoulder. Oh, shit. Oh, you grazed me. Damn.
I hope I survive.
Oh, shit. Did you see that bullet pinch me just It's like,
oh shit! You grazed my arm. You see? Where's your head?
They're gonna make it. Where's my leg? I'm cool, man.
But you know something? I expect this from this film. And it was thrilling to me what they did with the horses. Going in on these horses, very vulnerable. And, like I said, I don't know what happened in real life. Because they tell you what the results of this was. And it's kind of amazing what you hear if it truly did happen that way. But to see people going in on horseback into these heavy odds and doing it by no choice either, being that vulnerable, that was thrilling to me. And you know what? And I mean, again, to Martin's point, everybody's bulletproof in this, including right down to
unless you're brown.
You fighting for the wrong side if that's the case. But if you black, you all right.
The brown people were helping them too.
Yeah, I'm talking the brown people that were helping
On
them.
their side, they got shot a lot. They lost some limbs in this movie.
Well, they should be better. No, you know what? I'm looking at these horses, though. If anything, it convinced you, like, either this is bullshit or we need to go into every battle on horse. Yeah. Because those horses are just like the horses in Westerns where they are bulletproof.
Skyrim
they don't
horses.
get hit at all. There was one scene where you saw it. Yeah. A horse got blown up, and they showed him in slow motion. Even the horse was like, "Fuck!" Oh, no. And I'd be damned if not 2 seconds later, I'm all right.
Yeah, man, I laughed at that shit. Like, you gotta be kidding me. Pete ain't gonna call me tonight.
That horse got right up, back in the game.
And that was supposed to be like a dramatic ass moment too. And like the sound's quiet, you're hearing bombs go off everywhere. Somebody behind me coughed. I laughed at that.
Yeah.
And then this horse just jumps up like, oh, I'm good.
And just so nobody's mad, if you missed that 1 second and you saw that horse flying through the air, about to die, they want to let you know. They in the trailer, they tell you American Humane monitored the animal action. No animals were harmed, except for the one that they paid to have killed. All the horses just didn't give a shit. They were like, that motherfucker was dumb anyway. He was going to die at some point. He was always doing
that was
stupid
Mike.
shit.
He was always doing fucked up things.
Plus, right before he went to battle, Mike is showing everybody pictures of his pregnant wife, telling everybody how he's about to retire.
This is my mare.
Just 2 more days and I can go home. Oh, fuck. I understand totally where both of you are coming from.
Sure.
And Chris Hemsworth, one thing that you and I agree on is like he hasn't had very good luck with being a leading man.
Ooh, no.
They've tried to force him. They've been like, man, it's Thor. And like, yeah, nobody gives a fuck about Thor. You took what we're gonna have a Hawkeye leading man movie yet? Nobody cares. But in this movie, he shows that not only can he lead a movie with his charisma, but not only be a romantic leading man as they've tried to see him be in other things, which worked to some slight extent, but he's a great leading action guy.
Yeah.
You gotta believe that they will follow him, and you do. I mean, it's almost to a point where he's almost too confident, like they play it up too much in the movie.
I would be remiss if I did not say to you, even in success, the odds of you coming home.
You're 100%, sir, with all due respect.
You're like, all right, what?
You and your friends are dead.
You're supposed to say that.
I like the way, go on, Captain America. I'm Thor, sir. I don't give a. Get the fuck out of here, man.
This big dumb hunk of baloney out of here.
Yeah. Get this big dumb pretty motherfucker.
I couldn't say no to those eyes.
I have to assume William Finchner is playing a real guy because that ball cap.
He
is
looks
weird.
terrible. Like
Man, look at this.
Because his head is bulging in such a way. I'm like, there's got to be hair under
Look
there.
at the dents in his head.
I don't give a fuck. I'm not shaving this. I'm not shaving this gift.
disrespect his lumps.
Man, while you're watching the movie, you can see that ball cap just throbbing. That hair just wants to pop out so bad.
It's like an alien.
Yeah. It's like if you just keep him on the stove a little longer, the popcorn will come out. Jiffy Pop head. Yeah, man, I was laughing at that. I'm so glad y'all said it because I don't want to be mean. I was like, come on, man. Just shave your head. You an actor.
Man.
It'll grow back. Either
He's like, it might not.
I know, yeah. Either that's a terrible ball cap or he's got a fucked up head. He's like one of them aliens off of Alien Nation.
Right.
He's like the head. What was that show?
That show. Man, you got an alien about to pop out there. Yeah, man. So I'm so glad you noticed.
That shit was a nice cat, man. Oh no,
That shit looks awful.
It really does, man. It really does. How'd you feel about the rest of the cast? Well, you said that none of them were really guys that you would know, and I thought that they tried to give them their moments, but I get what you're saying, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you got the guy from Moonlight, and he had a little subplot.
I liked him.
Yeah,
Trevante Rhodes.
Right.
Trevante Rhodes from Moonlight. I think this is the first feature he's been in since Moonlight. I think the thing that stands out about him is that he's the one that needs to stand out the most as a newcomer on the scene. And I think he holds his own. You know, it might not be the strongest material.
I mean, look, the movie, okay, the movie's too long. And part of it is that they're giving everybody these little subplots. And yeah, we want to get to know them, but they give him the most generic war subplot where it's like the moment it's introduced, it's like, man, I know where this is going to go. Can we just have that happen in the next scene?
And the fact that I don't even think he was like, this is based on a true story. They showed a picture of everybody at the end.
I was trying to say that earlier.
There was not a single black face in that picture.
Yeah.
Unless he was
In the tank they were sitting on.
Or he was pulling a Tropic Thunder. They tend to do that there in blackface.
You'll fool the enemy. They won't know what to think. Yeah, it is like,
What do you mean by you people?
yeah, it's based on a true story. Then they show a picture of everybody at the end. I was like, there are no black or brown faces.
They were all
there.
white dudes.
Yeah.
So white people, if y'all get mad about that, I kind of understand. Man, they taking everything away from us.
They're just blackwashing everything.
Yeah, I want to know who was the soldier he replaced. So watching this movie. Hey, I'm gonna be in this movie. Watch it.
Yeah.
Man, what the fuck?
Actually, to that point, when they show Michael Shannan, where he's telling his family, like, I got to go, and his kid is just like, man. And he's like, hey, I love you. Psh, whatever.
Martin.
I'm wondering, like, in real life, the real son of that real guy, would he watch this and be like, motherfuck, I never did any of that.
Yeah.
That makes me look like a total traitor to the U.S.
No, you know what? You always mention how you get mad at these kids for being ungrateful. And I'm always like, Martin, come on, man. You know, kids got to let them blow off some steam. No, that kid in this movie pissed me off.
Because you know what the mood was like when 9/11 happened.
Well,
There's
yeah.
no kid that would have been like, psh,
No,
man.
everybody's son, daughter, even their dog would have been like, yeah, daddy, get them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know, go get them, daddy. No, man, I hate when kids I can understand, you know, Pops being a little bit too much into his work, but Michael Shannan is like, son, I have to go to war. I got to stop the bad guys so that you have an America to live in and for freedom. And the son is acting like the most ungrateful little bitch.
You know I love you, right? I would be remiss.
Fuck off, Dad. You know, man, you know what I
The
like?
red lips sticking out.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, while I'm gone, you get your bitch ass up and get a job and support the family. So yeah, that's what I thought. Motherfucker, you want to go up to Afghanistan with me? Well, yeah. You better give my ass a hug.
You know how hard it is for a fish man to show love?
And it's so dry in the desert.
And by the way, I wish he had just pulled a full Michael Shannan on him, where he just went off. Yo, come here right now!
His eyes bulge out.
If any time, it would have been great.
Yeah.
It would have been there.
Don't you fucking walk away from me.
You don't walk away from me! Mama!
Like that cattle prod from Shape of Water.
Your mother can't save you now!
I will find you. There was actually one I thoroughly enjoyed, even though it was very thinly written. Like Martin said, all the characters were in here. The leader of the Northern Alliance,
General Dostum.
Dostum,
yeah.
Dostum, yeah, he was. I thought he had a good, basically, reason to go over there and fight. Like everybody else is just kind of, I want to fight for my country. But he's like, no, I'm fighting for like my life, my people, my everything. And if I lose this, I lose everything.
He had the most complex arc.
He did.
He did.
And I liked his character. I wasn't crazy about his philosophizing all the time.
That's
he had. It was. Yeah,
It's like, hey man, how come you didn't tell us about that? And he turns into Yoda. It's a graveyard. You don't have the heart. You're not the warrior. brother, just give me the goddamn answer.
Hey, warrior, you're a soldier.
Every time you talk to him, you need something. You know, you need eyes of killer. You need heart of warrior.
There's nothing above me but God.
Yeah. I was like, man, is there a store I can buy this shit from? 'Cause I need a lot of shit right now.
All I need is information from you. Stop holding back.
Yeah, and he was being shitty, man.
Or dig through my fortune cookie.
Afghanistan fortune cookies, motherfucker. Give me this. Where do we need to go? It's a map right there.
But he was a really good character.
No.
Yeah.
Let's read the tea leaves. Get this shit out of my face. I ain't thirsty. Tell me where we need to go. No, that is Navid Negahban, and his character was really good in the movie. He was great. I didn't want to say it, but his character being there kind of reminded me of just a slight bit of Lawrence of Arabia too.
He's got that Omar Sharif.
He got that Omar Sharif going. I love this character because he is the most complicated character. The whole time you keep hearing all these things about him, and you don't know if it's legend or if it's true. And if some of these things are true, then he is really brutal. But at the same time, you're like, man, well, you're a product of your environment. And it soon turns out that you realize, as shitty as these rumors might be, you kind of have to do what you have to do to get this done.
Yeah.
And I tell you, man, I really like the cinematography that's going on in the movie. I was talking about all the planes and the landscapes that they have to ride through, and to me, that is really cool. I mean, they made the landscape add to the intensity of the battle. They show you you literally can barely walk in this area. It's not because people are shooting at you, just because there's so many goddamn rocks everywhere. Mm-hmm. Your modern technology, it's great to see the modern technology meld together with the most primitive of fighting battles, just riding horses in there. And I think they did that well, melding those things together. And a lot of the aerial shots are pretty cool too when they're bombing these people, man. Some people say it's probably even glorifying a very controversial method of fighting. It does kind of trivialize war in that way. You know, we're there to make our guys look like heroes.
Right.
You seem to have something to say about the villain.
Yeah.
Well, that is where you think that these guys that we hanging out with are not characters. Try hanging out with this villain. The most character this villain has is that he looks like a cross between Frank Zappa and Jafar from Aladdin.
Yeah.
We don't even need this. We could have these faceless troops that they're fighting, and it might even be better because that's kind of what battle is like for these people.
Right.
They don't know, but we have to have this one guy that our hero, the general, Dotson has to go up against, and they feel like the audience needs a face to boo, to go up to a villain with a face on it that we can easily go up against, and that's this guy. They set him up so bad. They showed him in one act of evil. It was just one scene, and it was almost like, well, you see, he's bad. Now let's go get him. And that was that.
It was almost like it was set up like he was like, oh, you want me to do something evil? All right, well, what's the most evil thing I can, okay, set these people up and I'll kill them.
Yeah, that's it. See? I shot somebody. Ain't I bad? Come get me, motherfuckers. I'm probably going to be the highest rating here, and that's fine because I understand where everybody's coming from with theirs. But again, knowing what I'm getting into, I'm not asking for a classic war film. This is a unique take on a war story. It's a shame that they were not able to really get that, and I'm fine with that. I got basic entertainment from it, and I believe for a matinee, that suffices. I do believe people who sit at a matinee, if you're going in there to see action, that's what you're going to get. Tad bit, maybe too long too, but it didn't bother me that much. So yeah, a matinee.
All right. Overall, man, it just felt like they were just trying to emotionally manipulate every little thing. With what's going on here, we've seen this done so much better. We saw something better either it was last year or year before last with 13 Hours, the Michael Bay movie. And I feel like that was something
Some people just got mad right now.
12 strong, 13 hours.
13 hours, it's one better. But yeah, man, the thing with this, it just felt like I've seen action done better. I've seen war movies done way better. And I've also seen cinematography done better for a war movie. A lot of these characters, again, don't feel like real people outside of the Taliban leader. I give this a rental, man.
All right, Mark.
To do a war movie in itself, you have something important. If you just blow it off and go like, it's just an action movie, like, well, you're really doing a disservice because you're doing a disservice to these people, especially this being a true story and all. And this being a true story about these horse soldiers, based on the book Horse Soldiers, that's really what this should have been about. It's entertaining at times, but there's so much else, especially leading up to it, that keeps it at a rental.
I will say that at the end of it, it became it really did become a video game. I mean, it got to a point where they did have to fight a boss. They had a boss. It was pretty much a monster that they had to stop.
Right.
Or it was if they lost, it was going to be the end of the game.
And it was like Dark Souls because they're like, all right, we got them. They're on horses. We can get them. Oh no, they've upgraded the tanks.
Yeah,
Oh no, they got missile launchers. They're like, oh my